is nobody talking about the 300 gallons of sulfuric acid that was bought in 2018 right before Epstein got arrested? Hey city boys, it's me, Saint, your favorite half numbed. Right now I'm your whistleblower. City boys, what happened to the real whistleblowers? Before I really get into this video, I'm gonna let you guys know I just came from the dentist, okay, city boys, and I got a cavity filled. So right here is numb, but I still want to talk about what I want to talk about, no shade. So if you guys can look past that and just listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, okay, city boys? For one, I want to thank you guys so much for all the support that I got on my Epstein video. I wasn't really planning on making the video, honestly, but it kind of leads into a lot of things that I want to talk about on my channel, which is not necessarily these evil people, which they will be brought up to make an example of, but I want to talk about the things that they are doing behind the scenes and how it is negatively affecting us. So we'll get deeper into those topics as my channel goes on. I do have a video in the works. I want to do movie breakdowns because, as you can see, and as I'm going to talk about in this video, these elites, let's call them that, but they're not elite in anything. These elites show their hand. They show all their cards in movies, in entertainment, with their music, with all these things. They literally tell you exactly what is going on. They put it under the gaze of entertainment. They put it under the gaze of art so that we don't really come to the connection of what they are doing or what they have done to get to the positions and points that they are at. So first thing I want to talk about is, a lot of people have been asking, why did they release these emails? What do we get out of them releasing these emails? What we all have to come to an understanding is, with this world, is just like how there's the food chain, there are certain things that are just naturally in place to make this world run, quote unquote, like smoothly, as smooth as possibly it can, right? And one of those things, to not let, let's say, the spirits of this world or the god or gods in this world react, or I guess show their hands more violently. I don't know how to explain it. One way to curb the judgment that they will face, let's say energetically, spiritually, in the spiritual courts, is by them telling you what they are doing. So I feel like the emails was a way in which they told you. A lot of the stuff they're not going to put in the emails, duh, but a lot of things, look at the things that they are putting in there. They are talking about pizzas. I know that they're not eating Domino's pizzas, crispy pizzas, Italian pizzas, whatever pizzas, every single day, every other week. Next, they are telling the public these things, are giving out these Easter eggs of information just so they do not face the full repercussions, the full spiritual repercussions of their actions, because they know that their actions are sick. They know that their actions are unjust. Top of it, right? Once judgment day comes, right? Once we are being judged for our actions, not just in the legal court, but in the spiritual court, one thing that they can say is, well, yes, I did do that, but everybody knew I was doing it. I told them, just to make it seem as if what they were doing was not as bad because it was in the public eye. Let's keep going further deep into this. I believe that because these people were able to get away with so many things, they now see themselves not as human beings, but now as gods that deserve sacrifices given onto them. Y'all, let me keep going. Let me keep cooking. They see themselves as mansions and as us as ants. Right? Or let's say termites, because, you know, we keep pestering them. We keep bothering them when they're just trying to live their posh, beautiful, sick, nasty, perverted lives, right? But what happens with termites, city boys? Once you get that termite infestation and you do not deal with it, which is happening right now, they need to deal with it. If they do not deal with it, what happens with the termites? The termites keep doubling. Before, it was just us conspiracy theorists, right? We were the ones saying they're eating babies, they're sacrificing babies, they're doing these rituals, right? Now the common people are now saying, what the hell is going on? What are they doing to these kids? What are they doing with all this money? Where the hell did they get all this money? Termites are now doubling, and the house will slowly crumble. It'll be nothing but boats and doorknobs left when the termites finish. So instead of having this happen, it needs to get addressed. That's why these other countries are addressing, they're going through these Epstein files, trying to see where their high-ranking politicians and government officials lie, and they are dealing with it as just. Like England, firing people. Andrew got arrested, but he didn't get arrested because he was a pedophile. He got arrested for, I think it was insider trading. But in America, what are they telling you? Just forget about it. Why y'all keep focusing on it? Let me tell y'all about some aliens. Us American people don't give a fuck about no fucking aliens. Bitch, we already know the aliens are here. Some of y'all are aliens. I'm not gonna say what I've seen. Some of y'all are aliens. Let me just say it like that. I'm gonna go in between my points and I'm gonna give you guys these references because this is not a game. City Boys, I do movie breakdowns. I talk about symbolism. I talk about color theory. I talk about color placement. I talk about words, things that are used in these films to deliver a certain message. I am going to get back to doing them. I have one coming out soon, which is just a fun one real quick, but it does have deeper meaning. But I do have some heavy hitters coming out very, very, very soon, so please look out for those. And if you guys want to refer any movies to me to break down, let me know. But we're going to talk about some of these movies. First, the biggest one that has been talked about time and time again, especially because of this case with Epstein, is Eyes Wide Shut by Stanley Kubrick. And we can also throw in Blink Twice by Zoe Kravitz. These movies talk about, well, for one, let's talk about Eyes Wide Shut first. I'm gonna do a full movie breakdown for this, but people are consistently talking about, for one, the clip that is taken out of the film that shows a child being sacrificed. It is showing these elites doing these rituals and having these parties for them to to network and to also have leverage over one another. Tom Cruise was a newcomer in it. 2 weeks after first showing of the movie, Stanley Kubrick dies. Anybody has ever watched any Stanley Kubrick film, like his films are jam-packed with so much symbolism, so much messaging, so much color theory, so much everything. Yet his last film was kind of stripped. And like I said, any person that is a fan of Kubrick's work knows that this is not a final Kubrick product. Which goes into what? The messaging that he is trying to tell. And then he suspiciously dies after. Blink Twice talks about a wealthy man that has an island. In the island, he's giving people perfumes, which they are losing their memories when he is tormenting them, sexually assaulting them, and physically assaulting them. The next movie that I want to talk about, and this is going to lead into me talking about the music industry, okay? The next movie that I want to talk about is Dr. Sleep, which is based on the Dr. Sleep book by Stephen King. We're going to do a movie breakdown on that as well. In that film, there was a group of these people led by this lady named Rose, I believe. If not, then I'm going to put the real name, but led by the lady named Rose. She's centuries years old. To continue living and to have her power and to be so strong, she feeds off of the energies of others that have power, right? With the really big fish, they can live on for years or centuries, depending on how much they suck up the soul. With the little itty bitty ones, they live off a little while. When I think about that, there's two ways I think about that. For the first way, we're gonna think about it the Epstein way, right? With them doing these baby sacrificing, with them doing these rituals, and we're gonna connect this to Michelle Lambie. We're gonna connect this to Marina Abramovich. Bitch, fuck that bitch. I'm not saying her name correctly. Before we touch on that, I just want to finish off my point about the music industry and Dr. Sleep. So, in the music industry, there are these big people. The Whitneys, the Michaels, the Prince, the Luther Vandrosses, the Bob Marleys, these great big deaths that shake up the world. These producers and these record executives are killing these people and taking their essence. Just like how when Tupac died, all of a sudden now Snoop Dogg is the biggest. When Biggie dies, now all of a sudden Jay-Z is the biggest. They are siphoning off of the energy of these people that are deceased now. That can even be brought back to Clive Davis having a party right under Whitney Houston laying dead in the bathtub. He's literally taking her energy at that point. We're gonna connect it to her as well with her spirit cooking. What are you cooking up? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my lips are throwing me off. But who are you trying to contact with this? What are you trying to do? If you look at a picture of Maria Abramovich, look at how she looked. And she's supposed to be, what, like 60-something years old? And no offense to white people, but white people usually do not age well. So if I see a white woman that's aging like that, I know something suspicious is going on. No shade. Let's continue. We're gonna keep going. When it comes to this music industry, I'm gonna talk about the Clive Davises, okay? It's more than him. It's also the Tommy Mottolas. Those people literally are siphoning people's talents, God-given talents, and killing them. And once they kill them, they make more money off them. A lot of these record labels, these record companies, the Gucci Mans, the Yo Gottis, oh my goodness, there's so many of them. They put these life insurance policies on their artists. Why the hell you, as my label, are putting an insurance policy on me? I understand a family member, a significant other, a spouse, but my record label is putting an insurance policy on me. Why? Because they want you to die. Because they know that once you die, for one, when you find out somebody's dead, whether it's an actress, a musician, you're gonna either watch their movies again over and over again on these streaming sites, or you're gonna buy it on YouTube or Apple Movie or whatever it may be. Or it's a musician and you're gonna stream all their music. You're gonna buy CDs of theirs that you didn't buy before that you were thinking about. You're gonna do all these things. So you're gonna give money to not these people's families, but these corporations. You're putting money back into these people's pockets. Rest in peace to Luther Vandross. Rest in peace to Whitney Houston. A lot of these people, rest in peace to Prince. Rest in peace to Michael Jackson. Rest in peace to Bob Marley. Rest in peace to Bruce Lee. A lot of these people, they can no longer control them. So what did they think? What did they do? The first thing they thought was, hey, if you cannot speak, if you cannot defend yourself, if you cannot speak against these large corporations, these big bosses, I don't got no problem no more. Talk about more things they reveal. We're going to go to the music industry now. Jay-Z, I heard about you, Jay-Z. Having Biggie's chain inside of the studio so you can summon his spirit so you can rap. Bitch, you can't fucking rap. I do like Song Cry, though. That's a good song. But every verse that I usually hear you on, bitch, I skip it. I'm going to let you know that right now. How did Kanye eat you on a song with your wife on it? Nas in his music literally talks about having to mix his pee and his cum and drinking it as a ritual to get into the industry. How many times does this stuff have to be in our faces for us to realize what the hell these people are doing? How many songs do they have to make about selling their soul to the devil until you realize that they're actually selling their souls? If you don't believe in people actually having a soul, okay, you're selling your morale. Let's say that. You're not only selling yourself out, but you're selling so many other souls out. Or we can talk about Suge Knight inferring, let's say like that he gave Eazy-E the HIV death, as in stabbing him with the needle, injecting him with HIV. I'm gonna throw out some more, just because. Ellen, Chelsea Handler, making weird, disgusting comments about Justin Bieber wanting to have sex with Justin Bieber when he was like 16 years old. Let's continue. Diddy, talking about how he had young Usher in his house, sleeping in the bed with Usher, and how they were waking up fighting over Frosted Flakes. With a house, why you and Usher sharing the same room? They're putting this stuff literally in our faces, and we just hee ha ha. Diddy literally saying in an interview, oh, they asked him what makes the best party, because everybody say, oh, Diddy got the best parties. He said a locked door, hot room, liquor, and I think he said baby oil. I never saw that in any parties I went to. But the thing is, when it comes to the stuff that they put out, they mix reality with fiction, just so for some people it's harder to differentiate between the two. But us people with power of discernment, we can differentiate between the two. That's why in the Epstein emails that have been released, there's some stuff that makes absolutely no sense, that have nothing to do with anything. And there's some things that's like, oh, I love that torture video. Next time, please give me an 11-year-old. That's why they're able to say stuff like that. But then they intermingle it and mix it with, let's say, testimonies that don't add up with the time periods and times that things were happening or things were being built. They are doing that to make it seem like, oh, the things that you are hearing, the harsh things, they could be fake. It could be just stuff made up. It could be them just joking. But if you're not, I'm sorry, if you're not a sick, perverted mother trucker, who the hell jokes about mutilating and trafficking children? I've made a lot of jokes in my life, but I never thought about making a joke to put an adult head on a baby's body so somebody can have sex with it. The next thing that I wanted to touch on was the whole designer baby cloning thing. We're going to relate this back to movies again, City Boys. Him talking about creating designer babies, what I think about is creating the perfect baby, right? In these files, a lot of these emails, they talk about when they want their underage kids, they want them to usually be Caucasian kids. So when these people, the same people that are talking about they only want Caucasian kids to prey on, and they talk about having designer babies and cloning babies, what kind of babies do you think they're going to create? This is very much, and also in the emails, he does talk about supreme genes and genetic superiority and a whole bunch of sick-minded, stupid shit. Back to it, what kind of babies would they create? White babies. Most likely with blonde hair and blue eyes, or blue eyes and brunette hair, or brown eyes and blonde hair. What is this giving, but on an extreme level? Well, it's two different types of extremes. What is this giving? This is giving Hitler. This is giving the Aryan race. But there's no problems with that though, right? But doesn't Trump go with, these people are literally seeing themselves as a god, creating a race of people. This is reminding me of the movie Gattaca, starring Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. I love me some Uma Thurman, girl. In this movie, the government is creating a perfection race. And anyone that is born naturally, this perfection race, they're all in labs. They are all fake. But all the people that are born naturally, they are now the lesser class. They are deemed as lower than. That is giving me what they wanted to create. The society that they wanted this world to be ran as. Now I want to talk about how they've been normalizing the sexualization of children right in front of us. I did give a little bit of examples before. We're going to get even deeper into it. We're going to talk about Britney Spears. 16 years old Britney Spears was dressed up as a slutty schoolgirl in Hit Me Baby One More Time. As a 16-year-old, she is a schoolgirl. Why does she have to be slutty? Next, Celine Dion met her husband at 14 years old when this man was, what, like 36 years old. They did not get married until she was 24. I think he was like 52, I believe. That man watched that girl grow up into a woman and married her. In my opinion, he created the perfect wife. He molded his perfect wife. That's sick and that's disgusting, but it has been normalized. Kamora Ali got in a relationship with Russell Simmons when she was 16 and he was like 32, I think, again. Sickening. They had baby Shirley Temple dressed up in a two-piece playing a baby prostitute in a movie. So this goes back so far. These people been putting this in the faces. Yet nobody's saying, what the fuck are you doing? Nobody's saying, I'm going to stop supporting these people because they are negatively harming the children. How can you say the children are the future, yet you're doing everything to negatively affect the children's upbringings, which will affect their futures? You know what? Not even their futures, our futures. I'm jumping around a lot in this video just because I have so many points I just want to get off. But as I kept hearing and looking more into the Epstein files, one thing that I'm thinking about is, why is nobody talking about the 300 gallons of sulfuric acid that was bought in 2018 right before Epstein got arrested? As soon as they opened up an investigation on Epstein, he ordered gallons of sulfuric acid. Last time I checked, Epstein, even though I believe his backstory is fake, I think he's an agent. That's why I know he's still here. Epstein, and I'm sorry, let's pause in between this. No, I'm going to finish the sentence and then we're going to get back into it. Last time I checked, quote unquote, Epstein was a past physics teacher turned into a businessman. What the fuck does he need sulfuric acid for? Right after you had got cued on, you had got the hint that a case is opening up on you. They are starting an investigation on you. And he got that order to his island. They're doing it literally right in our faces. Ain't nobody talking about that. But y'all was worried about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil that Diddy had. People are more, I realize a lot of people are more pressed on the sense, bitch, I can't say the fucking word, but how big and how crazy everything sounds, but not the real actual stuff that is going on. When it goes back to the Diddy thing, they were more invested on him being gay than him raping, trafficking people and abusing people. They were more worried that he was gay. The stuff like this always baffles me. What does this man need sulfuric acid for? The only thing that sulfuric acid cannot break down is metals, plastics, polymers, and glass. So I'm gonna ask again, what the hell was he using that sulfuric acid for? And another question that can be asked is, who is supplying him that much sulfuric acid? Because I know a lot of times when you want to buy at least something on the internet, unless you're doing it through the black web, you need some type of license to get things like that. Yet he has the ability to buy gallons and gallons of it. Let's continue on to that point. I believe he is a spy. That's why he's still alive. And that's why he got away with so much of the things that he got away with. Because any normal human being, if they did 1% of the things that he's done, they would go down forever. You know what? They would bring back the guillotine just to cut their heads off. Yet he was able to not only get arrested for these things once, but twice. I forgot to add this part in. Epstein is still alive. He is using his FedEx account. Dummy bitch. And that's what makes me believe more that he is an agent, because any other person would create so many different identities that they wouldn't even be able to catch on. But if he's using his FedEx account, he don't give a fuck because he's an agent. He don't got shit to worry about. Ghislaine Maxwell, she probably an agent too. That's why that bitch is in Canada smiling, cheesing. Didn't even change her face. Next, please guys, if you guys have children, nieces, nephews, whatever it may be, a young kid in your life, please keep them off of these apps like Roblox and stuff like that. If you do not want to keep them off of it, or the Xbox, PlayStation, if you do not want to keep them off of it, please monitor them. Make sure that they have it on their accounts that they cannot receive messages or voice chats, that people cannot contact them in the game, or whenever they play the games, y'all better get into it and start playing the game with them just so your kid doesn't miss out on that. But you want to make sure that they are protected, because there's a lot of these predators on these games, and these game creators do not want to take them off because they are predators as well, okay? Yet they say Big Brother watches everything, but I guess they have their eyes closed out for things that they want to have their eyes closed for. That's what I guess that's why Kubrick said eyes wide shut, because their eyes are wide up to shit that don't even mean anything, things that don't even matter. I bet you if you don't pay your taxes for 2 years, they're gonna get your ass. But let him transport gallons of sulfuric acid and traffic children, and let him look the other way. a lot of these celebrities have been showing us what side of the fence that they lie on. Like I told you guys in one of my past videos, I don't give a fuck about politics, city boys. The right side and the left side do the same shit. They're both disgusting, nasty sons of bitches. What I care about is truth. I care about honesty, and I care about shit. I care about the greater good. I'm on the side of God. I'm just letting it be known just like that. These people have been putting in our faces what side they lie on. Lady Gaga, Michelle Lamy, they over here throwing these parties, having cakes the shapes of human beings, and they're eating slices of it. Jay-Z is literally having a music video with Michelle Lamy, a known witch. Let's just call it what it is. A dark demonic witch. Chanting and doing chants. They have, just now when I was saying Michelle Lamy, I meant Arina Ravakovich. But they have Michelle Lamy. She is a witch too. Oh, it's disturbing to nobody saying anything. A lot of these things, me as an artist, there is a separation between art and demonicness. Okay? And I feel like I kind of ted the line because my art is kind of dark, but it's nothing that has to do with anything like this. And these people, all of these people come under the umbrella of aristocracy. Fuck him too. I ain't saying his name right either. One of the most evilest, diabolical motherfuckers out here. You listen to a lot of the words that some of these people are saying, they are only mimicking him. They're believing in the same practices. Marina Mavrakovich, she's over here doing spirit cooking, where they cut their fingers and bleed and mix their bleed with other bodily fluids, right on walls, and sacrificing things and summoning demons. These people are into that kind of stuff, city boys. And the crazy thing is that years before this, I'm gonna put in the year right here, Marina Mavrakovich literally posted a video of her doing, I'm not linking that shit, but doing these rituals. So if they are posting this, imagine the things that they are doing behind closed doors. And why do I bring this up when it comes to Epstein? Because Epstein, like I said, he is a flounder. He is a flounder in the sea of predators. He was only a transporter getting back to back. He's just connecting people. He's not the worst that there is. So when you start looking at all these other people, let's lift up the rocks of these other people. Because these people, like what they used to do with the Mayans and stuff like that, they are doing sacrificing. But the difference is, the Mayans did it publicly. They did it in a way to, well, in their reasoning was to satisfy their gods, to make sure they have good vegetation, to make sure the women keep their fertility, to make sure that they have great weather, to make sure all these kinds of things. These sick motherfuckers, they are doing the same. And that's what I realized with these evil people. They always take, I'm not saying sacrificing people are good, all these kind of things, but everybody has their own customs, okay? But they are taking something that is usually positive, meant for positivity, meant for the greater good of the collective, and they always turn it to something negative to make it positive for only themselves, to make sure that only themselves get the positivity and the rewards that come from these actions. They are sacrificing these people to make sure that they continue to have wealth, that they continue to have status, and they continue to have their heart's desires. And I mean that in all the most negative ways possible. And real quick, I don't know if I'm going to touch on this in another video, but I want to touch on this real quick just because I just said about the whole sacrificing thing. They are sacrificing these babies. Like, it gets deeper into it, yes, but they are sacrificing these babies to Baphomet. And this all connects to Aleister Crowley. He is that sick motherfucker that was over here in his room, over here doing the whole blood, pee, all that kind of stuff, poop, eating it, all that, injecting it, all that kind of stuff, doing these rituals, summoning and speaking to demons. And Baphomet was one of the demons that was drawn, okay? It's the demon that eats babies, okay? All these people in the entertainment industry, they are worshiping this deity. So when you hear some of these people, you be like, oh no, Saint, they said that they worship God. What God? Who do they consider their God? My God is the most powerful, positive source on this earth. That's not the same God they worship in. And one of the main reasons why I believe the US, as in our governmental system, does not want to fully talk about and dive into the whole Jeffrey Epstein is because they are all Jeffrey Epsteins. Either they were Jeffrey Epstein or they were hiding and abating at Epstein, which makes them just as bad, which makes them just as accountable. So in their minds, if we do not pay attention to these things and we tell you, don't listen about it, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm gonna hurry up and delete these files, then they believe that now we are gonna not think about these things. They're going to throw things in our face, city boys. That's why Trump brought out the aliens. Oh, I'm gonna release the alien files from when Obama was president, blah, 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 blah. We don't give a fuck about that shit. Talk about the kids that you was touching on, allegedly. My final 2 points. Like I said, and I keep saying, Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. Ghislaine Maxwell is not in prison. She is in Canada, but she might not be in Canada right now. Y'all, that 24-hour surveilling her is giving the Truman Show. This shit is not fucking real. They're playing in our fucking faces. The lady don't even look like Ghislaine Maxwell. Whole nose change, mouth change, everything. I saw that video online of that guy, and he walked past her. He said, Ghislaine? The way that bitch snapped her motherfucking neck so fast, talking about, oh, I'm not Ghislaine. With her brother right next to her. Girl, playing somebody else's face with that. But she's probably in, I don't know, Antarctica by now. The way they be playing with Antarctica. She probably in Antarctica by now. This stuff is really sick, City Boys. This is actually very, very, very disturbing. And something that kind of touched me was I was thinking about the Rothschilds. The pictures that were released of their party. Like I said, they put out stuff that they want us to see. Imagine what they do not want us to see. In the picture, everybody focuses on the headdresses and the mask and all that stuff. Crazy, 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 yeah. But the centerpieces were dismembered baby dolls. As some of the richest people on this earth, one of the wealthiest families, your centerpieces are dismembered baby parts. And in Epstein's emails, they were talking about stitching together an adult head, which is most likely a female head, on a baby's body. I'm gonna let you guys think on that. I'm gonna let you guys sit on that, okay? My ending messages, one thing I want to say is, City Boys, if you guys have any talents, stay independent. Especially with the way that this world is now with social media and stuff like that, you can get the exposure that you want. Just continue to work, continue to bask in your talent, continue to get better in your talent so nobody can take that from you, okay? Because if you depend on these people, for one, they are going to work you like a bitch. And two, they're going to treat you like a bitch. And you're not going to be treated like no bottom bitch. You're going to be treated just like a regular bitch. Okay? And when they're done with you, City Boys are just gonna crumple you up and throw you away. If you're independent, City Boys, you keep your dignity, you keep yourself, your sense of self. You can say no to things. You can walk away from things. Don't let these people think that they are doing you a favor. You are doing them a favor with giving them or even letting them bask in the natural God-given gifts that you have. I'm saying that to myself. I'm an artist, City Boys. I'm gonna put up some of my art right here. I love to create art, but I swear to you, I will be nothing when it comes to art if I ever have to either sacrifice myself or my morals or have to endanger somebody else just so other people, these elites, think that I'm worthy enough to be in their presence. Fuck them, okay? Fuck them. And P.S. shout out to Cartoon Network. I've heard some good things about Cartoon Network. I haven't heard nothing when it comes to pedophilia when it comes to Cartoon Network. I fuck with Cartoon Network. Shout out to them. And they always were the ones that took risk on the great TV shows. Sometimes there were hits. I mean, sometimes there were misses, but there was a lot of hits. Shout out to Cartoon Network. You know, I love me some Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. I love me some Courage the Cowardly Dog. Dexter's Laboratory was cool. I loved My Gym Partner Was a Monkey. You know, I could go on and on. The only thing I did like about Disney Channel, I loved Hannah Montana. I was a Hannah Montana girl. What can I say? But yeah, City Boys. Like I said, keep your eyes out. Protect your energy. If you feel like you can't handle these certain information, take a step back, but just know what is going on around you. Do not stay blinded. Do not stay obtuse. Keep your eyes out because they're going to release more information. They're going to tell you more things are fake. City Boys, one thing I want you guys to do is, for one, trusting yourself and your gut instincts. But on top of that, strengthen your power of discernment. Do not let just anybody and everybody give you information for one. Just as fast as the government can give you information, they can take it from you. So what you need to do is use your power of discernment to take from it what you need from it, okay? Like I said again, thank you guys so much for all the love on my last video. Thank you guys for all the new City Boys. Shout out to my new City Boys. Hey guys, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Shout out to y'all. Y'all along for a really great journey, okay? I'm letting you guys know right now that I don't always talk about topics like this. I talk about a whole bunch of stuff. You guys saw in my past videos, I talk about wrestling, I talk about myself, I talk about spirituality, I talk about a whole bunch of things. So whenever things connect to the overall message that I want to give on my channel, then I'm going to talk about it. So if you guys have any other topics that you guys want me to touch on, if you guys want me to talk about, or if it has to do with this Epstein stuff, certain topics when it relates to this that you guys want me to talk about, let me know. But make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. City Boys, y'all please give me the 500 subscribers, City Boys. If y'all give me the 500 subscribers, I'm gonna do a handstand. Quote to Saint, nevermore. Bye, City Boys.